So it's 10:30 at night, and it seems to be this is the time when I actually sit down and record a video during this daily vlogging in August. It's funny because every night I'm like trying a different spot of the house just because everybody's sleeping. I'm trying to figure out the best place that I can actually have some lighting, I can have my camera, my gear around, what I need for the video without, being too loud. So yeah, today we're gonna be in the dining room slash kitchen area, so welcome. But anyways, today what I want to talk about is my workflow when it comes to editing my vlogs. So when I used to shoot my vlogs before I started the daily vlogging, I basically used to take my SD card, I'll stick it in my computer, dump everything in there, and then put it in Premiere and then just jump into it. But the thing with that is, like, I used to have so much footage that it was so hard to, like, it used to take me a long time to be able to find, oh, this is the footage that I want here, this is that I want here. And I've tried different styles. I've tried to, like, bring them up one at a time. I've tried to, like, put them all on my timeline and then just go through it and cut and stitch. Now, I had to find a way to be efficient and fast in editing my vlog. Here's some tips of some things that I learned in the past 6 days of daily vlogging. All right, let's just jump into it.
Let's just jump in.
One of the main things that I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to work on this project on my desktop or on my laptop without having to re-import everything on every different computer. So in the past, I've tried to basically use the Adobe Creative Cloud or OneDrive or Google Drive to basically have my files up there. That way I can edit from my desktop or from my laptop. But the thing with that is I found that it's not very efficient. And what I mean by that, because sometimes like there's issues with syncing the files, there's issues with the network. So what I decided to do, I'm like, you know what? A lot of travel vloggers, they use external hard drives. So I decided to give that a try, and that was the best thing that I've ever done. So I'll create a folder for the project and then I'll dump all that footage in there. That way I can actually unplug it from my desktop and then plug it into my laptop and vice versa, and I can just keep going. Everything is local, everything is fast. So let's start with tip number 1. Now let's say you got your footage on the SD card and you plugged it into your computer and then you offloaded everything to your hard drive. Alright, so if we go into my hard drive, you'll see here that I have a folder for effects and add-ons. This is basically my main folder that has all the effects that I've used before, and it's just somewhere easy for me to grab effects from to use in current projects. And then if you see here, I got a folder for Vlogmas, which is for my daily vlogging in August. And the way I do it is that each day it gets its own folder. So basically every vlog has its own folder. For example, day 2, it has its own folder, and when I create the project in Premiere Pro, I save it in this folder too. So it's a separate project for this vlog. And as you can see here, I basically break it down my footage. So after I dump everything in, I actually break it down into separate folders from my music. So if I have the music that I want to use in the vlog, I'll put it in this folder. My main footage, which even in that you can actually separate it if you have different parts. For example, like I have shots in the car, and I also have shots at Dave & Buster's, so I kind of just like put them in there. You can organize it within the folder. And then I have my effects folder, which in there I'll save all my effects, any kind of images or sounds or whatnot, I'll put it in there. And then I have a folder for B-roll, and that's where I put all my B-roll footage in there. So basically this is how I structure all of my footage inside the folder on the drive. And like I said, what's nice about this being saved on an external hard drive is that I can actually unplug this, go to my other computer, plug it in, and I can just keep going. So anyways, so now that we have all of our footage organized in here, this is gonna help you when you go and edit. So to make sure to actually stay consistent with that and make it easier when you edit, when you open up Premiere, you have your project in there, to make sure when you put in these files and this footage into Premiere that you actually organize them in there just the same. So in here you'll see that I have B-roll folder, I have main, I have effects, music, but then also I have sequences and adjustment layers. So for example, if you're using multiple adjustment layers for different color grading on the different shots, then I have them all in there. And I also make sure that all the folders have their own color, so that way it's easier for me visually to go and grab the footage that I need from that specific folder. Now after you actually go through the edit and got everything done and ready, then you got to make sure that you have your thumbnail. So even the thumbnail, I actually save it in that same folder. That way it's easy, it's there. And originally, before I started this new workflow, I used to have my thumbnails actually in the pictures folder on my computer. So again, it was local on my computer, it wasn't backed up anywhere, which was a pain. And it was in a separate folder, so it was kind of hard to go and fish for that thumbnail if I needed it later on. So by this, it's all contained in that folder. I know for this project, for this vlog, everything is in this folder. And then one last tip before I end the video, the way I do it is once I'm done, I watch everything over again and make sure that it looks good, everything is fine. So when I go to export, it's usually late at night since I start my shooting and my editing at 10:30 at night. At this point, I'm just tired. I need to go to bed. And then so what I will do is when I go to export the video, I'll specify the file name, and then of course I'm gonna save it in that same location, in that same folder, because that's what I want to keep everything. So so it would be in Vlogust. Day 2, and then I actually have a folder that's called final, and this is what I put my final exports. And the reason why I have a folder in there, just in case I do multiple final versions. Sometimes I do a final for YouTube, and then sometimes I do a final for Instagram. That way they both go in here and I know where to find them. So after you put them in there, so you give it a name, and then you select, for example, if this is for YouTube, I'll do YouTube 1080. And then what I will do is I go to the Publish tab. In here you would log in, you'll select the channel that you want, and then you can add it to a specific playlist. Once you log in, it will pull in all that information, and then you can give it a title, and then give it a description if you want. And then even if you go at the bottom, and then you can specify the privacy, whether you want to do public, unlisted, or private. You can add any tags, and you can actually select your thumbnail. So now when you select the thumbnail, you can do from the timeline, or you can do from an image file, and then at this point, you just tell it where to get that file from. And now at this point, after you hit export, it will basically render your video, export into a file, upload it to YouTube with all the information that you put in there, and it's ready for you the next morning. So what I usually do, I'll set it to private, and then in the morning when I see it up there on YouTube, then I'll fill out the rest of the stuff. Now this is the way that I do it. I find it very fast and efficient, and it works for me. But if you know of a different way, please feel free to share it down below in the comments, and let us know how you do it. But anyways, this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you found it valuable, make sure to share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel if you're new, and don't forget to flick that bell to get notified every time I put out a new video. Thank you guys. Peace.